The moment I opened my bedroom door and saw her standing there barefoot, trembling slightly, wearing nothing but my shirt, my world stopped. It wasn't the sight that froze me, it was the look in her eyes. The kind that carried stories no one had ever listened to, pain no one had ever comforted, and a silent plea she was too proud to voice. That night changed everything, not because of what happened, but because of what didn't. And if I'd walked away then, I would have never known how much a broken soul could teach me about love, forgiveness, and second chances. It started 3 months earlier, on a rainy evening that smelled like lost time. I was a single dad, juggling long shifts as a mechanic and late-night homework sessions with my 8-year-old daughter, Mia. Life had settled into a rhythm, not easy, not glamorous, but peaceful. Until that night when I found a stranger sitting outside the auto shop long after closing, drenched to the bone, her eyes red from crying. She looked completely lost, like someone who had forgotten how to exist. "Are you okay?" I asked, grabbing an umbrella and stepping closer. She hesitated, clutching a soaked handbag to her chest. "I just need somewhere dry for a bit. I'll leave soon, I promise." I should have said no. I didn't know her. But there was something in her voice, exhaustion mixed with shame, that made me nod instead. "Come inside." Inside, she sat quietly while I made tea. Her name was Emily. She'd just left a relationship, an abusive one, I'd soon find out, and had nowhere to go. The bruises on her wrist told stories her mouth refused to. She didn't want pity, just a pause. That night, I gave her Mia's extra blanket and let her sleep on the couch. When I checked in the morning, she was gone, leaving only a note: "Thank you. I'll pay you back someday." I didn't expect to see her again. But 2 weeks later, she showed up at the shop, hair tied neatly, a shy smile replacing her fear. She wanted a job, any job. I wasn't hiring, but Mia was in the corner, struggling with her math homework, and when Emily knelt beside her, explaining the problem like she'd known her forever, I saw something I hadn't seen in months: my daughter smiling like she had a friend. So I hired her. She became our part-time clerk, then our full-time helper. Slowly, she began to laugh more, talk more, exist more. I'd catch her staring at the rain sometimes, lost in memories she didn't want to remember. And every time, I'd remind her, "You're safe here." She'd just nod and whisper, "I know." Then came the night everything changed. A storm had knocked the power out. I'd gone to check the fuse box, leaving Mia asleep upstairs. When I came back, Emily was standing by the kitchen window, shaking. Her past had found her. Her ex had called, threatening to come. She couldn't breathe. I told her to stay the night, it wasn't safe. She refused at first but finally agreed, fear still heavy in her eyes. I gave her my shirt, hers were soaked from the rain that had followed her in, and told her to rest in the guest room. That's when I saw her again, hours later, standing in the doorway, wearing my shirt and nothing else. But this wasn't a scene of temptation, it was one of trust. She wasn't trying to be seen, she was trying to disappear, but safely this time. She whispered, "I can't sleep. Every sound feels like him." I didn't touch her. I didn't move closer. I just sat on the floor beside her bed and said, "Then I'll stay here till you do." She finally slept. For the first time in years, she didn't flinch. Of the days after that brought quiet changes. Emily started cooking breakfast, laughing with Mia, fixing little things around the house. She'd hum songs while folding laundry, and my home began to feel fuller, not with romance, but with healing. I learned she'd been an art teacher once, before her life fell apart. So I gave her one wall in the shop to paint. She called it Second Chances. Months passed. Her ex was arrested. The shadows in her eyes began to fade. Then one morning, I woke to find her sitting at the kitchen table, coffee in hand, sunlight kissing her face. She smiled, the kind of smile that reaches the heart. "You saved me," she said softly. I shook my head. "No. You just remembered who you were." She looked at me for a long moment and whispered, "You don't know what it meant, that night. When I was wearing your shirt. I thought it was the first time in years I didn't feel like someone's property. I felt safe." That morning, she kissed my cheek just once and left for a job interview at an art center. She got it. We still see each other, sometimes. She paints now, teaches kids like Mia to believe in colors again. Every time I visit her studio, that same painting hangs near the door, the one she started in my shop. Underneath it, she'd written, "Safety isn't a place. It's a person who stays when you break." And every time I look at it, I remember that night, the trembling girl wearing my shirt and nothing else, and how she taught me that sometimes, love doesn't start with a kiss. Sometimes, it starts with staying.